My doctor said you must rest for a few days. I heard must and genuinely thought it was optional advice, like a gentle suggestion. I went back to work the very next day.
She was not happy when she found out. Must is one of the strongest words in English. It means absolutely necessary, not optional at all.
Exactly, and today we're covering the modal verbs. They confuse learners constantly. Must, should, have to, might, and could.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Emma.
And I'm Daniel. Let's get straight into it.
Must is one of the strongest words in English. It means absolutely necessary, not optional at all.
Exactly. And today we're covering the modal verbs that confuse learners constantly. Must, should, have to, might, and could.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Emma.
And I'm Daniel. Let's get straight into it.
Today's topic genuinely matters. These small words carry huge differences in meaning, from strict rules to gentle possibilities.
Exactly. Let's fix that must confusion immediately with clear, practical explanations. Must, exactly from our story, expresses strong obligation or near certainty. You must rest means absolutely necessary, not optional.
Should expresses advice or recommendation, genuinely weaker than must. You should rest means it's a good idea, but not strictly required.
Have to is similar to must, expressing necessity, often based on external rules rather than personal opinion. I have to submit this by Friday.
Might and could both express possibility, something that may happen, without any certainty at all. It might rain later. Can expresses ability or permission. I can help you means genuinely able to or allowed to. 5 essential modals already. Must, should, have to, might, could, and can. Already enough to understand the core difference between obligation, advice, possibility, and ability.
Emma, which modal verb genuinely confused you the most when learning English?
Honestly, must versus have to. They felt almost identical for a long time, until I learned the subtle difference.
That's such a common confusion. Let's clarify it properly. Must often comes from the speaker's own personal feeling or authority.
Have to often comes from an external rule, law, or requirement outside the speaker's personal opinion.
For example, I must call my mother shows personal feeling. I have to wear a uniform at work shows an external company rule.
What about the negative forms? Must not versus don't have to. These are genuinely dramatically different.
Must not means strictly forbidden, prohibited completely. You must not smoke here.
Don't have to simply means something isn't required, but it's still allowed if you want. You don't have to come, but you're welcome to.
This specific pair causes genuine, serious misunderstandings if confused, since the meanings are almost opposite.
Absolutely essential distinction to remember clearly. What about should have versus must have, used for the past?
Should have expresses regret about a past action, something that would have been advisable but wasn't done. I should have studied more.
Must have expresses strong logical certainty about the past. She must have left already. Her car's gone.
What about might have versus could have for the past?
Both express past possibility, genuinely very similar, though could have sometimes implies missed opportunity specifically. I could have gone, but I stayed home instead.
What about using modals for polite requests rather than obligation or possibility?
Could you help me, or would you mind helping me? Both use modals specifically for politeness, softening the request.
What about shall, a modal that feels genuinely old-fashioned to many learners?
Shall still appears in formal suggestions, especially British English. Shall we begin means should we begin in a formal, polite way.
What about ought to, similar to should but slightly more formal?
Ought to carries almost identical meaning to should, though it's used somewhat less frequently in casual, everyday conversation.
What about combining modals with continuous forms, like must be doing?
This expresses strong certainty about something happening right now. She must be working late. Her lights are still on.
Let's cover a useful grammar point, too. Modal verbs never change form based on subject. No he musts or she shoulds.
For example, he must go, never he musts go. This stays completely consistent across all subjects, unlike regular verbs.
Very important grammatical rule, since many learners instinctively want to add an S following typical verb patterns.
Let's review the essential modal verbs from today, all together.
Must, strong obligation, personal feeling. Should, advice, recommendation. Have to, necessity, external rule.
Might/could, possibility, uncertainty. Can, ability or permission. Must not, strictly forbidden.
Don't have to, not required, but allowed. Should have, past regret. Must have, past certainty.
Could have, past possibility or missed opportunity. And ought to, similar to should, slightly formal.
11 essential modal verbs and phrases now, covering obligation, advice, possibility, and permission completely.
Practice the difference between must not and don't have to today, since that pair genuinely matters most.
Daniel, tell us the full story about ignoring your doctor's must.
So this happened after a minor procedure. I'm genuinely still building my English confidence with medical and formal vocabulary specifically.
A situation where genuinely understanding the instruction mattered quite significantly.
Very significantly, as it turned out. My doctor said clearly, you must rest for a few days. Avoid physical activity completely.
A clear, strong instruction based on what we've covered today.
Clear to her, certainly. I heard must and mentally translated it as something closer to should, a gentle suggestion rather than a strict requirement. What did you actually do the next day?
I went to work completely normally, genuinely feeling fine, assuming resting was simply optional advice rather than medically necessary.
Did anything happen as a result of not resting?
By the afternoon, I genuinely started feeling unwell again and had to leave work early, realizing something had gone wrong.
What happened when you eventually spoke with your doctor again?
She asked directly if I had rested as instructed, and I admitted honestly that I had gone to work instead, assuming it was optional.
How did she react to that admission?
She was genuinely quite firm, explaining clearly that must in medical instructions means absolutely necessary, never simply optional.
Did she explain the grammar difference specifically, or just the seriousness of the situation?
Both, actually. She mentioned that must carries much stronger weight than should, specifically to prevent exactly this kind of misunderstanding.
What's the lesson for our listeners here?
In medical, legal, or safety situations specifically, always assume must means absolutely required, never simply gentle advice.
And if you're ever unsure about the strength of an instruction, it's always worth asking directly for clarification, rather than guessing.
Everyone, has a modal verb ever confused you in an important situation? Tell us in the comments.
And which pair from today will you remember most? Must versus should, must not versus don't have to?
We read every single comment, and honestly, this topic genuinely helps learners avoid some serious, real misunderstandings.
If this episode helped you, please like it and subscribe for a new episode every week.
Take care, everyone, and remember, when a doctor says must, they mean it.
Bye, everyone.